What's good, YouTube? Wait, this is Trotman back with another video. Actually, not even any other video. Today's my first ever podcast video. Welcome back to the Trotman podcast. If you're new here, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, man. And yeah, man, about to get started, bro. And we're gonna talk about every sports. This podcast, NBA, NFL, college football season is about to start, and I ain't talking about baseball. I don't know nothing about baseball and hockey. Respectfully to those guys who love those sports, just not my cup of tea. But I'm gonna have a lot of people coming on the podcast, maybe some TikTok, maybe Zoom calls, you know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. So we gonna actually film a lot of stuff in this podcast. This podcast is coming out probably once a week, maybe twice a week if I have time. I don't know, but make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, man. We gonna do a lot of big things for sure on this podcast. So appreciate you guys tuning in. This is episode 1 of the podcast. Let's get straight to it. So the first topic we're gonna be talking about today is we gonna go to ESPN and we gonna go to college football, bro. We are gonna go to college football. And let's see. So let's go to college football rankings, and we are gonna be talking about let me pull it up on my phone real quick. Let's go to rankings. And we're gonna be talking about the college football playoff rankings, man, as of right now. Obviously the AP poll has it and everything else has it. So this is what the AP poll has as of right now. Now, this is interesting because you got to see, okay, where people are going to drop, where they're going to add. So, I don't know if I can show you. I could probably flip the camera if I have 1 second. Uh, Actually, no. Well, I'll just talk about it right now for here. So, if y'all go to ESPN AP poll, they have Georgia 1, Michigan 2, Washington at 3, Florida State at 4, Oregon at 5, Ohio State at 6, Texas at 7, Alabama at 8, Missouri at 9, Penn State 10, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, LSU, Arizona, Louisville, Notre Dame. So, obviously, when you look at that schedule, when you look at teams that are playing this weekend, obviously, Georgia, Michigan, Washington, Florida State, and Oregon's playing. Ohio State is the only one out of the top 6 that is not playing due to their loss. And obviously, they put them out the college football playoff. And now I have not a crazy confession or nothing like that, but there's still a possibility that Ohio State still make the playoff. So we're gonna start off with all the teams that can make the college football playoff, in my opinion, and we're gonna talk about how they could get in the playoff, what seed I predict them in, blah blah blah, stuff like that, right? So Georgia is pretty simple. If they win, they're in. That's basically a lock. Now, if they lose, they can still be in. Due to the fact that I hate it from my perspective, but they are 2-time reigning defending champions, and I don't think, and I do not think that even if they lose, the committee will put them out the top 4. Let's say their battles against Florida State or Texas or somebody. I don't think they will do that. Just because Georgia is a 2-time defending champion, and then one loss came to the conference champion, that could be interesting. Okay, so Michigan, if you win, you're in. Now, if Michigan finds a way to lose, then it gets even more tricky because since they have to head to head over Ohio State, then they will probably still find a way to get in because obviously either Washington or Oregon's getting in. I would say so. Florida State, if they win, they're gonna get in. Even though I don't think Missouri with a backup quarterback, I don't really see them making much noise. So, but if Michigan wins, they're in. Simple. If they lose, they can still get in. It's unlikely though. Washington, if they win, they're in. If they lose, Washington's probably out. I think Oregon and Washington's a must win for both teams. Whoever loses that game is gonna be eliminated, in my opinion. Yeah, it's gonna be gone because a 12-1 record, fine. You lost in the champ. It's gonna be hard to get that 4th spot. So Ohio State, no, Florida State. If you win, you win. If Florida State beats Louisville, which they possibly can, if Florida State beats Louisville, they will be in. Well, not be in. If Florida State beats Louisville, they'll be they put us in the best position. Now, if they lose to Louisville, they're gone. So they have to win and hope for other stuff to happen to get in. Oregon is simple. If Oregon has to beat Washington. If Oregon does not beat Washington, the chances are over. You might as well kiss the odds goodbye. But they have to beat Washington, which they could. We'll see. Um. Okay, this is where it gets tricky. I'm gonna leave Ohio State for last. Alabama's simple. You have to beat Georgia. Alabama has to beat Georgia to get in. That's simple. It's that simple. No if, ands, or buts. They can't lose, and no, they have to beat Georgia. That's the only way of getting in. If they beat Georgia, SEC champ, you beat the number one team, you're in. That's Georgia. Alabama will get in, and if Alabama beats Georgia, that will like circuit a lot of chaos, like a lot of chaos, for sure. That means then if Alabama beats Georgia, Ohio State, and Texas and Florida State, their odds might be very, very short. Okay, now we go to Texas. Texas has to win and hope that Florida State loses. Hope that Florida State loses to Louisville. Because if Texas wins, right? Like if everybody on this top panel wins, that's probably going to be if the top four teams, right, and Georgia, Michigan, Washington, and Florida State, if all those teams win, that's probably gonna be the final four if all those teams win. I'm gonna be honest. That would probably be the final four. But there could be chaos because Washington and Oregon could they or Washington could lose, Oregon could lose. Well, if Oregon lose, they're done. But Texas, they need to win, and they probably need Georgia to beat Alabama. They need that. Then they probably will need Florida State to lose. Florida State to lose to Louisville, and then I think Texas could get in. But I don't think they'll get it over Ohio State. Now, Ohio State, I do think Ohio State can still make the college football playoff. I know, call me crazy, whatever, but there's a lot of chaos that can happen. First off, for Ohio State to make the college football playoff, Georgia has to be Alabama. If Alabama beats Georgia, Ohio State has no chance of getting it. No chance, literally, none. Georgia takes care of Alabama. Georgia's in. Michigan takes care of Iowa. Michigan's in because you can have Michigan with a loss because then they'll head over Ohio State matters. So Michigan takes care of business against Iowa. So you got Bam Bam, right? Georgia, Michigan. Washington takes care of Oregon. Washington's in. Washington beats Oregon the second time. They get in. Oregon's out. So you got Alabama out. Oregon's out. Louisville beats Florida State, which is incredibly possible with the backup quarterback that Florida State has. It's very possible. If those three things happen, the debate so Oregon would have two losses. Oregon would be out. Oregon would have two losses, or Oregon would be out. Texas, no, Alabama two losses, they're out. Florida State on backup quarterback with one loss, no champ, they're out. So then the debate for the final spot is between Ohio State and Texas. And if we're just being honest with ourselves, Ohio State wins that argument against Texas. They do. Look, they win the argument against Texas. They played Notre Dame. They have two better wins. They went at Notre Dame, who's 15th in the nation. At a home against the top Penn State. And then they lost on the road to Michigan. On the road in a one-score game against Michigan. And now, if I go look at Texas's schedule, well, let me pull it up. Let me pull up Texas's schedule real quick. Texas's one loss came to the 12th ranked team in the nation, and according to AP poll in Oklahoma, who has two losses on the season. Who has two losses on the season, or not even playing in the Big 12 championship game. So they're actually playing the 19th ranked team in a championship game. And let's look at Texas' resume. Okay, they went on the road at Alabama. That is a big win. Okay. They have some comp. Okay. So they went at Alabama. They played Texas. They lost a neutral site. They at home against a Texas team, Kansas team that has four losses. At Kansas State, who has four losses. I mean, okay, if they beat Oklahoma State, fine. But if they lose, I think Ohio State wins the argument. Because the argument is this: is it the four most deserving or the four best teams within the resume and the schedule? Because if we're going off the four best teams, I'm sorry, I know it can't happen, but it's Georgia, Michigan, Alabama, Ohio State for me. I'm sorry. You could argue Washington and Oregon in that mix, right? And they'll play each other. That's why the champ's so important, because we will see who deserves to get in. Uh, we will see who gets in, because obviously in terms of the schedule, we will find out. Ohio State has a chance to get in the college football playoff. They do. Now, will they is the question, but they do. And let's say it's even worse. Let's say Texas mess around and lose to Oklahoma State. Then they're done. Ohio State could win the argument between them and Texas. Now, is it a good one? No. But if all those things happen, like if Ohio State, if Georgia takes care of Alabama, Washington beats Oregon, Michigan beats Iowa, which probably is going to happen. That's 3, right? 3. Now that leaves the one spot left for either Florida State, Ohio State, Texas. And let's say Louisville beats Florida State. If Louisville beats Florida State's out of there. They're out of there. Right? If they beat Florida State, they are out of there, right? As we know. They are out of there. It could get interesting. Because let's say all 4 scenarios happen where Texas lose, Florida State lose, Alabama lose, Oregon lose. Let's say all of those happen. Then Ohio State literally walks into the 4th spot. They literally walk in. Now, I'm not expecting all that to happen, but the first 3, if you're an Ohio State Buckeyes fan, the first 3 has to happen. Period. If you want any shot, because if Oregon beats Washington, they'll be in. Georgia's probably getting Michigan in. But then the final spot, they will not put Washington again in the playoff. They will not do that. They will not put Washington again in the playoff. It goes down to either Florida State. He comes down to Washington, Florida State, Texas, or Ohio State for that 4th and final spot. Now, if Oregon and Alabama wins, it's just chaos. Ohio State has no chance. Because Georgia's going to get in no matter what. Alabama champ, Oregon in champ, and then Michigan. So there's no potential slot. You know what I'm saying? There's no potential slot. So they need Georgia to take care of business. They need Michigan to take care of business. They need Washington to take care of business. For Ohio State's best chance to make the playoff, that's it. Because I like the Ohio State versus Texas debate. Because if we're keeping the buck, Ohio State's a much better football team. If we really want to keep the buck, are they going by the best team? Or are they going by the better resume? Or even a slight resume? Because Texas wins, besides Alabama, which is a big win. I'll give you that. Alabama's a big win. By the way, Ohio State has 2 of those in Penn State and Notre Dame. But if I think Ohio State wins the argument between them and Texas, I don't care if they're the Pac-12 champion or, excuse me, Big 12 champion. Like, what does that prove? I mean, they lost. They barely beat Houston and all these other teams. Ohio State is mollywopping their competition. Went on the road to Michigan and almost won. In a 1-score game, a close game down the wire. Took them on the road. Ohio State is going to have a chance. If all those things happen, if the first 3 things happen, Washington, Michigan, and Georgia win, Ohio State is going to have a chance at the 4th spot. Now, if Florida State wins, then it's probably unlikely because undefeated. But here's what I'm saying. How many games? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, well, we all know Michigan's beating Iowa unless something crazy happens. Georgia's favored against Alabama. They could beat Alabama. Washington is underdogs, but they could beat Oregon. They did already. So, I'm looking at this and okay, look. If Washington, Georgia, and Michigan take care of business, those are the 3 spots open, right? Those are the lock 3. Now you go to the 4 between Texas, Florida State, and Alabama. What's the matchup? Florida. No, it's Texas, Florida State, and Ohio State. Not Alabama. Excuse me. Ohio State. So now, if Louisville takes care of Florida State, which I think they'll beat Florida State, Florida State's out of there. So now the argument is between Ohio State and Texas. If all those things happen, Ohio State has an argument for still getting in the playoff. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. And I'm telling you, man, I love this stuff, man. College football playoff time is about around the corner. Championship weekend is this Sunday or this Saturday, excuse me. So all these teams should win. All these teams should go. I mean, try to win. And yeah, man, look, we'll see what happens with the format, who wins, who not, because that determines whether who gets in, who gets not. But that's college football, man. Now we are going to transition to the NFL. We're going to transition to NFL, man. So right now, man, we about to be in finish week 12 in tonight's game between the Bears and the Vikings at 8:15 on ABC and ESPN. So the Vikings are 6-5. I think the Vikings get the W tonight at home to keep their slim division hopes alive. Still with the Lions losing and them winning this game before their bye could give them a chance. Plus they play the Lions twice, so they have a chance to really catch up. This is a must win for the Vikings. If they want to, you know what I'm saying, like if they want to continue to not be in a playoff race, but even potentially even catch Minnesota. I meant Detroit, because a win here off they're going to their bye. Then they play Minnesota twice. I meant Detroit twice. Excuse me. Otherwise, let's recap the game. So the Lions, speaking of Detroit, they lost, and they were terrible on Thanksgiving. They lost to the Green Bay Packers 29-22. Jared Goff had a pretty solid game with the numbers, but he had 3 lost fumbles in the game. He was not really creative. Not really like 3 lost fumbles. Quarterback rating of 15, even though the numbers say he was but the 3 lost fumbles hurt them. Turnovers, they almost came back again and pulled the magic, but Detroit, I mean, they're trying to be in the race for the number 1-2 seed. These are the games you have to win. I mean, you're at home against a under 500 record team with a quarterback just getting his first start as a rookie. And speaking of the rookie or quarterback, Jordan Love, the last 2 weeks starting to play really efficient ball. 22 with 32, 269, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks, 90.5 QBR, 91 QBR, 125 pass rating. Outplayed Jared Goff this game. Green Bay, they stepped up today, man. They stepped up on, Thursday. They got the job done. Now they play my Giants. Green Bay could mess around and sneak into the playoffs. I think they won 2 in a row. Red hot. Now, Dallas absolutely cooked Washington. I mean, it's not even close the way they compete against Washington. I mean, Lord have mercy, is this bad? I mean, Lord. 331, 4 touchdowns for Dak. Absolute masterpiece. Deron Bland with his 5th, and I repeat, 5th pick 6 return for a touchdown NFL record. The Cowboys, Washington, must be said. The Cowboys are winning football games, and look, they're going to keep themselves in position to catch Philadelphia for that 1 seed. I understand, I understand Philly's 10-1, and they keep finding to win, but they're going to lose one of these games eventually. Now, they still got San Francisco, Dallas, and then Seattle. So they're going to lose some of those games, and Dallas has a chance to win the rematch in Dallas. So we'll see. Now, San Francisco, they are 8-3. Brock Purdy, efficient game. McCaffrey, 19 for 14, 200, 2 touchdowns. The Niners, when healthy, are scary. Now, they won 5 in a row. They lost 3 in a row. And now they won three in a row again. Their defense is unbelievable. Now, with the addition of Chase Young, that's what the front's even scarier. I mean, look, the Niners, I think, in my opinion, are the best team in the NFC in terms of, like, strength for strength. But right now, you have to get the crown in the Eagles, but the Niners are coming. Pause. And they are showing out, bro. And that game next week will be game of the week. 49ers, Eagles. That should be the Sunday night game, bro. That should be Sunday night game. Now, I'm taking the Niners in that one for sure, but I won't be surprised if Philly finds a way to beat them again. If Philly just finds a way to win, it's crazy. Okay. Now we got the Dolphins absolutely cooking the Jets. Not really much to say. Jets Aaron Rodgers should not come back this season. There's no point. No point, bro. Just wait till the season's off. The Jets need to upgrade the line, bro. And Hackett probably got to go. But anyway, let's go to the Sunday games. Derek Carr, I picked the Saints to win this division, and they're letting me down. There's no reason why they should lose this game. Derek Carr is not playing the way he should. I mean, Bijan Robinson, the Falcons survived. Steelers are finding ways to win ugly, win bad, whatever, but they're finding ways with. They actually had a 400 yard game only with one touchdown. So, I mean, the Steelers found a way to win. You also got the Titans beating the Carolina Panthers. I mean, they just fired Frank Wright, so for a reason. The Colts are staying alive in the playoff race, obviously. They're staying alive in the playoff race. The Giants, I'm a Giants fan, bro, and I'm so pissed how we can't even lose right, bro. Now we have the tiebreaker over New England, so when New England gets the higher pick, it is crazy, bro. All of a sudden, this guy Tommy DeVito is trying to win football games. It's crazy. Anyway, this is Jacksonville with a big win over Houston. If Houston won, they would have swept and won the division, but the crossbar, one of the best games, man. One of the best games for sure. Not even close. That was a good game. Broncos, Russell Wilson doing what it takes to win. Only 134 yards passing, one touchdown, but the defense played a phenomenal game. And the Broncos found a way to win. And the Broncos now are 6-5. They won 5 in a row. One of the hottest teams in football. Excuse me. The Rams blow out the Cardinals, and they actually keep finding a way to stay in contention for the playoffs. I think they're in contention. I think right now, the Packers are ahead of them because they're head-to-head. But right now, the Rams could make the playoffs. We'll see. The Kansas City Chiefs are back, and not mean by that, but the offense finally looked explosive. They put up 30 points for the first time in a long time with this offense. And yeah, I mean, they were playing a Raiders team that was top 5 in defense for the first 3 games, and they absolutely shut them. Mahomes 298, 2 touchdowns to carry the football. Travis Kelce, Rasheed Rice, and this is what I've been saying. I don't know. I've been saying this, bro, on live, but I'm just my own podcast for this. Rasheed Rice has to be the number 2 receiver behind Travis Kelce. You have to Rasheed Rice had 10 targets. He had 8 catches for 107 yards and a touchdown. Travis Kelce with 7 targets, 6 for 91. Sky Moore with 3 for 3. Pacheco went 5 for 5. Noah Gray went bad for them. It was very efficient play. And when they caught it, right? Now, the run game didn't really step up today. You can see Chiefs, obviously. But the pass game, the way they run the football, and the way that this defense is playing. I thought the defense was in for a bad day after the first 2 drives. The way the defense clamped up on Las Vegas the rest of the day. Kansas City's going to be a threat, man. They're going to be, in my opinion, the second best team or the best team in the AFC. I do think they can win the Super Bowl. If you get this type of production from Rasheed Rice, not 8 from 107, but you got to target him. He has to be the second option behind Travis Kelce. He has to be on the field more. And now my saying is, on crucial plays, he's not on the field a lot. My point is why. He's the best catcher on the team. He's the best run after catch player. Mahomes trusted him the most out of any other receivers. I mean, look, bro. You see what happens when they catch the ball? See what happens when they are able to actually catch the ball? See how good people look? Mahomes was on the money. You got to be able to catch it. And Rasheed Rice did. He made a back shoulder. He took some drag routes, took some screens. Just get the ball in his hands. You don't have to do, big play, 30 yards. You could do a 4-yard screen pass and turn it into 40. That's still an explosive play. Yards after catch. So Rasheed Rice, hell of a game. Kelce, I think the Chiefs are back. And now we'll see. I think they play the Packers and then they play the Bills. I do think they could cook those defenses. Now, if they had the same game plan where they run the ball, they do a lot of short stuff, just get the ball in these guys' hands. No penalties. Get the ball in these guys' hands and just allow them not to just try to run 8,000 script drops. Get the ball in their hands. Allow these guys to make plays. And they did. So, now, game of the week candidate or first short game of the week. Bills lose to the Eagles 37-34. Jalen Hurts activated his LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant clutch gene. Jake Elliott nailed a 60-yard field goal in the rain to force overtime. The Buffalo Bills had the ball. They were driving down the field. and Gabe Davis and Josh Allen misconnect on that would have been the game-ending touchdown. But they did it. Jalen Hurts went down the field and scored the touchdown. Jalen Hurts is probably the leading candidate for MVP right now. The team is 10-1. I mean, Lord have mercy, they are 10-1. They are the only 10-win team in the NFL right now, and they're the only 10-win team. So we'll see. The only 10-win team. Jalen Hurts playing well. Devontae Smith had 106 yards. I mean, tough. I ain't gonna lie. Tough. Josh Allen did have a good game though. 339, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. But he had 9 carries for 81 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. He had a combined four total touchdowns on the day. I mean, Josh Allen was, besides that one bad play, which he knew of, like that bad interception, he was basically excellent the rest of the game. The defense, I mean, you can't even hold Jalen Hurts to 3. Like, you cannot hold Jalen Hurts to 3 points there. Like, they got cooked the whole game. But it is what it is. Eagles, best team in the NFL. They continue to say it for right now. Then we'll see what happens. So, Ravens beat the Chargers. The Ravens are 5-1 away, 9-3 overall. Chargers are 4-7 and 2-4. This is a Herbert 217, 1 touchdown and the Hail Mary pick. Keaton Mitchell 9 carries, 64 yards. Keenan Allen had 14 receptions. Crazy. 14 receptions. Lamar Jackson 18 to 72, 177, 1 touchdown, 0 picks, 36 QBR, 86 passer rating. The fact that, look, these guys, a great game. Lamar gave you 39 extra yards on the ground as well. I mean, you could stress on Herbert, you could say played better, but it's not really a big a deal. Keaton Mitchell, Zay Flowers had that big touchdown. I'm going to say this about the Baltimore offense. If they can't protect Lamar Jackson, the offense don't look like it did most of the second half. They couldn't protect him. Dudes wasn't getting open in the secondary, but they could not really protect him. And you saw the results. I mean, the results proved themselves out. They were not efficient. They were losing. They were missing. Lamar was pressing, and they couldn't protect him. Like, if you can't protect Lamar Jackson, he was like, they were protecting him in the ball short, quick reads, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But if you can't protect him, right? And you can't prove that, and in my opinion, like you cannot prove that stuff like that can happen, then what's the point? You know what I'm saying? So otherwise that the Ravens find a way to win games. And yeah, so that's the standings right now. I'll drop my predictions later on my TikTok. So now, last topic of the day, man. Oof. We are now transitioning to the NBA. Now to the NBA, man. So the NBA season is here. Obviously, if we look at the standings right now, as of right now, we are going with, right now in the East, it's the Boston Celtics, the Orlando Magic, the Milwaukee Bucks, the 76ers, the Pacers, the Heat, the Knicks, the Cavs, the Hawks, and the Brooklyn Nets, followed by the Raptors, Hornets, Bulls, Pistons, and Wizards. Now in the West, it's crazy. Look, you got 12-4. Minnesota's number 1 seed. You got the OKC as the 2 seed. You got Phoenix as the 3. You got Phoenix as the 3. You got Denver as the 4. Dallas at the 5. Dallas at the 5. Kings at the 6. Lakers at the 7. Houston at the 8. Pelicans at the 9, and Golden State is right now the 10th seed in that division. I mean in the conference. So 8 and 9, 9 and 8. The Clippers are 7 and 8. The Jazz, the Blazers, the Grizzlies are terrible, and the Spurs are terrible. So I'm looking right now, right? Boston, you can argue, is the best team in football, basketball. I mean, Tatum, Brown, Porzingis, Derek White, Drew Holiday. The starting 5 is crazy. They have 2-way guards and Drew and Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, two-way top 10 2-way players in the league. You can argue top 15. Yeah, I mean, Milwaukee, Orlando. I mean, you can argue Minnesota, OKC. My surprise team so far is the Orlando Magic for sure. The fact that the Orlando Magic are 12-5 is crazy. Orlando Magic, one of the best defenses in the NBA. If I look correctly, if I look at the stats, I'm gonna look at the stats. No, it's no, not individual. Because if I look at the team stats right now, in terms of points per game, the Orlando Magic are fifth in points per game. Fifth on defense in points per game. I think, right? I assume it's on defense. Yeah, it's on defense because the Pacers and the Wizards are last. Yeah, it's on defense. Number one in points per game. Number five in points per game. They are field goal percentage. They're actually 15th. 3 point percentage. They are actually 15th again. So they're above average in everything basically. Just a 3 point percentage. What teams shoot against them from three. Free throw attempts. The Lakers are number one in terms of makes and attempts a game. The Orlando Magic are second in free throw percentage against. Like teams don't shoot well from the free throw line against them. Orlando Magic's defense, the biggest the points. They are top five in points. They are playing really good basketball as of right now. Obviously, some teams played 18 games, some played 17, some played 14, that played 15. So the numbers are skewed a little bit, but most teams played over 13 plus. What it looks like. Magic are a definite surprise for sure. Not even close. They are a definite surprise. The next team, I mean, if I'm looking here at the standings, what? I'm doing the pot. What? I'm recording something. What? I'm recording something. Damn. All right, cool. Anyway, so as we look now, the I that all right, my mom fellas, but it's all good. Nah, at all. So we got the Milwaukee Bucks still at 12-5. With Giannis and Dame. They struggled early, but they're starting to get their groove. 12-5 with those two. It's a good record. 10-5 in the conference. Milwaukee, Giannis, Dame. They're gonna be a championship contender. Philly with Embiid and Maxey emergence is special. Obviously, Tyrese Maxey is one of the best players in the league, and he's showing that being the second option, unleashing into the second option where he has the ball more in his hands. He's making plays. The Pacers are 9-6 with Tyrese Halliburton playing at MVP level. I mean, one of the best guards in the league. They're not in the fifth in the conference. Rick Collins deserves a whole lot of credit. Miami Heat find ways to win. Heat culture. 10-7. Good. That's a good record. I ain't gonna lie. Jimmy Bam. Hero was playing at a Hero looked like he took a jump. Hero looked like he took a jump before he got hurt. And it sucks he got hurt. The Knicks are gonna be one of those 500 teams that are very competitive, but Julius Randle is not the answer. I'm sorry. I've been saying this. They needed to trade him. They're not gonna trade him, and the Knicks are gonna just be the same old Knicks. Cleveland is gonna be similar. I mean, with Mitchell back, obviously Garland, Allen. Cleveland will be fine. They'll be better in terms of the record, but Cleveland's gonna be all right. They have the Twin Towers, top defense in the league. They'll be fine. The Hawks. My Hawks fans are Trey's balling, even though his efficiency is not where it needs to be. We're 8-8, 500. This is where I expected us to be so far, but our defense has to get better, and it sucks because we're not gonna get better and on the defensive end unless Trae Young improves on that end, which he's not going to do. So 8-8 for Brooklyn. Obviously, they don't really have a star, so it is what it is. Toronto. I don't know what's wrong with Toronto with that young talent, young core, and they can't do nothing. 5. Charlotte, they just lost Melo again. The Bulls are trash. The Pistons and Wizards, don't get me started. They're hot garbage. Now let's go to the Minnesota with Ant, Cat, Rudy, Jaden McDaniels. They're number one. See, Anthony Edwards, I said this is a hot take. Anthony Edwards might be the MVP this season. If Minnesota stays with the one seed, and Anthony Edwards does what he's doing, there's no reason why he can't win the MVP. OKC, Shea could win MVP as well. But the way OKC's playing, they have their 11-5 young team. They're up and coming. OKC is going to be a problem. You feel me? They're going to be a problem. Phoenix, Beal, Durant, Booker. Even though Beal and Durant, Booker have not played a game together yet. The fact that Booker and Durant are holding it down, my problem is the wear and tear. How long? Like, they're going to get tired eventually. Like, and Durant's already hurt. I don't know if he's gonna play or not, but the fact that they sat him out again, that's fine. But Booker is cooking. I mean, 11-6. I don't really like this team still because I don't think when they're healthy, they're gonna be as good as people think. But they'll be right now. They're a good regular season team. We'll give them credit. Denver without Murray for most of the season or like a few games, Denver has been clutch. I mean, Jokic is doing Jokic type things. They are 8-0 at home. They are the only team that not lose at home yet. Am I no? Besides Boston, them and Boston are the only teams to not lose at home. That's they're the only team. They're the only teams to not lose at home. So right now, man, look, they're finding ways to win ball games. They're finding ways to win games at all. They're finding ways to win games, and when you find ways to win games, that is what it is. So Denver with Jokic doing a thing. Gordon is not playing his best ball, Porter, but they're finding ways to win games. So that's all that matters till Jamal Murray gets back. Dallas, Luca, and early MVP candidacy. Right now, they're playing elite level. Kyrie's second options, filling his role. Luca, Kyrie, the offense is always superior with the Dallas Mavericks. Just the defense is very, very questionable, and whether they're going to actually be who they want to be depends on how good their defense is, and we'll see if that continues. Now, Houston, no, excuse me, the Kings, Fox is cooking. I mean, when Fox is there, the whole team changes. 9-6, they're playing good basketball right now. They are winners of one in a row. They are 7 of their last 10. Good stuff by them. Now we're going with the Los Angeles Lakers, 10-6, my NBA championship pick. Right now they're 2.5 games out, which is not bad. Where they lost Vanderbilt, Reddish, Hachimura for another week. I mean, Lord, and then Cam Reddish. They lost LeBron for a game, AD for a game. I mean, look, it's bad. It's bad with the injury. Then they're 10-7. They have an over 500 record once again, and they beat Cleveland on the road. Now they got Philly tonight. Let's see if they could beat Philly, then I'll be really impressed. But right now they had games. They had the game against the Mavericks, but LeBron lost and choked it away. But otherwise, that they'll be fine. I mean, that was just a bad read, but they'll be fine. Right now at 10-7 with their injuries, they'll take it, and they have a not top 10 defense without Jared Vanderbilt. Just wait till that man gets back. It's gonna get scary. Anyway, that's the Lakers. Houston, they're impressing me. The way they beat Denver twice, the way they compete, the way they play defense. Dylan Brooks, they changed. And Fred VanVleet changed the culture. They're above 500. They're a good basketball team. Now the Golden State, Houston, North Pelicans, 9-8. Zion's there, Bi's there. McCollum got out, but McCollum is honestly prayers up to CJ, but 9-8, they'll take it. And then the Warriors, I told you after this 5-2 star or whatever, 6-2, I told them, boy, just wait. They played weak comp. It's early. Let's see what happens. So does Steph miss a little bit of time? The team is not constructed well. They can't hit a 3-point shot. I mean, they give up. They play small. Draymond found a way to get suspended again. I mean, look, I'm not gonna count Steph Curry out, but I don't see them going far. Anyway, the Clippers, excuse me, the Clippers, I ain't sold. Obviously, they put Russ to the bench, and they said, "Oh, they've been winning since they put Russ to the bench." They've been playing the Spurs twice, and then who they played? I'll give them the win against the Mavs. That was a good win. That was a good win against the Mavs. I'll give them that, but I mean, they played the Spurs in a 3 time span. Like, can we stop? Like, three of their wins are against the San Antonio Spurs. Like, I'm not sold yet. They are one. They are blow. They are literally like what 4-8, bro. Oh no, no. I think they're what 4-8 or something. Like yeah, or are they like 4 and like what? Oh wait, what's the record? They take 3 off and they just won. They are bro. They're literally like 1-5 against every other team but the Spurs or something. Like they gotta relax, bro. No, they're like 4-8 or something. Yeah, they're literally 4-8 against every other team but the Spurs. So let's relax. Then they're not gonna play the Spurs again. They're 4-8. They played the Spurs 3 times. Three, 3 times. So let's relax on the Clippers real quick. The Jazz 5-11. I'm not really expecting much from them this season. Portland, I thought they would be a playing team. It looks like they're not going to be. Um, Obviously, Scoot came back, but I don't know. Memphis, they're probably not gonna make the playoffs. It's probably too much of a hill to over climb. Especially with Ja out, what more games? I think Memphis is probably done this season. Like Memphis is probably done, and the Grizzlies. It's not, excuse me, Memphis. That's the Grizzlies. The Spurs are probably done too. But yeah, that's my stuff, man. I really think obviously the games tonight. We got Washington, Detroit, Portland, and the Pacers. We got the Lakers and Philly. And then we got the Pelicans and the Jazz, and then we got the Nuggets and Clippers. I'll give you my picks now. I'm telling you, I don't know who to take in that game, but no, for all seriousness, no, I'm off of back to back because I'm looking for back to back. So back to back's important. So I'm looking at Indiana. I'm gonna take Indiana for sure over Portland. I'm I don't know who to take. I'm probably gonna take Washington because of Poole and Kuzma. I think they could just get it done, get a win, bro. They need it. I'm gonna take the Lakers to surprise people on the road in Philly. I think LeBron has a bigger game than he did last game. I think I think the Pacers, the Pelicans. What? You know what? I'm gonna take the Pelicans for sure, and then I'm gonna take Denver. Last time I saw these guys, Jokic is gonna cook them again. I mean, they have no answer for him. Literally, no answer. And obviously, you put him to the bench, but Russ has not been playing well off the bench. Like his numbers and his efficiency has dropped. Now I'm saying it's all about winning, right? It's all about winning, finding ways to win games. He said that with the Lakers. He said that with the Rockets. He said that with the Wizards. Until until they were winning his way. Until they were winning his way, I mean, then it worked. But if Russ keeps playing like this or he's getting limited minutes, Russ is not gonna be happy. And I think this game he's gonna play more minutes. I do think the Clippers have a chance, but I'm gonna take the Nuggets again. I think Jokic drops another 30-piece triple double. Gordon, I don't know if Gordon plays, but if he plays, Kawhi has not been the same player. I think KCP takes the matchup of Paul George, and I think the Nuggets find a way to win the game. We'll see if it happens though. But anyway, that's it, man. That's it for the podcast, man. 42 minutes. Hold up. Excuse me, my fault. 42 minutes, bro. Like it's crazy. Like it's crazy. Oh, okay. So I'm looking here. I'm looking. So yeah, you just gotta look. You feel me? Just try to. All right. So I'm gonna make sure to post on my TikTok. All right. Bye. Okay. Okay. Let me see this. All right, yo. Anyway, I'm looking here, and yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll finish the podcast, finish the pod. But anyway, though, I'm done. It's episode 1 of the podcast. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We talked everything about NFL. I didn't give you guys game picks. I probably give them when I drop the next episode of the pod, probably Saturday, most likely after the college football playoff games, and probably the preview of the NFL games, man. So if you don't like, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. turn on the post notifications. Next time I'll have actually my microphone. Like I'm not even talking off my microphone. I'm just talking like regular. I'm actually have this all set up. But nah, if you guys enjoyed, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, man, I am officially out of here. Y'all have a blessed day. Take it easy. Peace.